Her dog pooped on me, like all over me. Story time. So when I was in high school, I had a friend who was having a sleepover for the weekend because her parents were going to be out of town. And when she asked me, I was like, no parents, no rules, empty house. Yes, please. Sign me up for that. I also want to say real quick, I don't know if this person was bad luck necessarily, but every single time I hung out with them, something bad happened. Like, always. It never failed. So anyway, I agreed to the sleepover and she let me know that she was going to pick me up along with another friend. So I was going to have to sit in the back seat, but I also had to sit in the back seat with her dog, which wasn't a big deal, but she was just letting me know because her dog had a lot of energy and he would run back and forth on the back seat whenever she drove him around. So fast forward to her picking me up, I put my stuff in the trunk and I get in the back seat and we take off to go to her house. And all of a sudden, I start to smell poop. I'm like, it smells like poop in here. So immediately I'm like, did one of you guys fart? And both of them were like, no, we didn't fart. Did you fart? And I'm like, I ain't fart. It was the damn dog. He kept farting and it smelled so bad that I had to roll down my window. It was freezing outside. So I'm sitting in the back seat in an ice box smelling this dog's booty burps. Like, this is just not it. Eventually, it got to the point where I was like, sis, I think your dog needs to poop. I think you should pull over and walk this dog because he smells like he has to go. And my friend, being lazy, I guess, was like, oh no, I'm just gonna wait till we get home so I can let him out in the front yard. And I was like, but I think he needs to go now because his farts are so rancid. But of course, she ignored me and just kept driving. So at one point, we're like 2 minutes away from our house, not even. And her dog starts crying. And I'm like, your dog needs to use the bathroom. You need to pull over or he's gonna poop in the car. And this girl was like, no, I think he's fine. He's just being dramatic. He doesn't have to poop. He's just being a big baby. We're almost home anyway. Child, when I tell you, not even 3 seconds after she said that, her dog starts pooping and it is coming out like hot lava and it is just liquidy and watery and it is splattering everywhere. And like I said, I was in the back seat with this dog and he's running all over the place because he's scared. He doesn't know what to do. He's standing in his own poop. And the poor dog was probably so uncomfortable. So he started running back and forth on the back seat, running back and forth on the back seat. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to jump on me. So I take my hand and I try to hold him back like this, but it doesn't work because he's too damn big. So after trampling all in his poop and getting it all over the back seat, he decides to jump in my lap and sit down with his dirty booty on my lap. It smelled so bad, y'all, that I wanted to throw up. But I remained calm because I knew we were right by her house. We were about to get out the car soon, so I didn't have to deal with this for too much longer. But as we were pulling into the driveway, he starts to go again in my lap as he's sitting down. And it has the consistency, the look, the feel, the smell of sewage water. After we got out that damn car, I basically had to strip naked because it was all over me. And I asked my brother to come pick me up. My whole mood was ruined. I just wanted to go home.
I think my boyfriend is a narcissist. What should I do? Disclaimer is not my story time. Send me on Instagram. Brace yourselves because this is one messed up story. 5 months ago, my bestie and I show up to this party. Think really rich people living in the Hamptons, a la Great Gatsby, but with TikTok and cell phones. My bestie and I looked fabulous. Out of nowhere, this guy comes up to me and starts talking to me like he knew me. I was actually confused. I thought maybe we had met before and I was embarrassed that I didn't recognize him. So I entertained him for about 10 minutes. That's when he told me that he lied, that he'd never met me before, but he was pretending so that he could actually talk to me. I was actually charmed. You see, he's English, and he was in town for about a week visiting his friends, very rich people who were hosting the party. He charmed me so much that night. By the end of the party, he started love bombing me. No, I didn't know he was doing it at the time. He was giving me every single compliment he could think of. How pretty I was, how beautiful my hair was, how I was the prettiest girl in the entire party. They were very generic compliments, but he still managed to charm me. That's when he said, "Can I kiss you?" I said no, and then he kissed me. I was stunned, but I kind of liked it. For the rest of that week, he started showing up everywhere I was. After about 2 weeks, he convinced me to be his girlfriend. But then he started making me feel bad for the people I was hanging out with. You see, I have a lot of guy friends, and he would say things like, "If you love me, you wouldn't be hanging out with all these guys." And the love bombing continued every single day, every hour of the day. He worshipped me. Before I knew it, I was prioritizing him and only him. I stopped hanging out with friends, and he started criticizing my appearance and changing the way that I was dressing. Then one day he told me that I was stupid for not realizing that he was lying to me all the time. When I asked him what he meant, he said, "Wow, then you really are stupid." 2 days later, later, I found out he's not even English. He's from Ohio. Everything he said is a lie. Then he love bombs me and follows it up with criticism. And when it comes to intimacy, he makes me feel like I'm not good enough, but then he always wants it. And last night he told me that he's more attractive than I am. And if that bothers me, can someone tell me what a narcissist actually is? I think I'm right about this. What should I do? Self-care sister out.
About 2 summers ago, my best friend and I got so bored, so we decided to do a dating competition. Basically, whoever can get the most amount of dates during that one summer was the winner, and the loser had to do a dare. I went on over 40 dates. So I did win. However, during those dates, so many things have happened, and this is one of those dates that have just stuck in my mind. This was a 26-year-old man that lived about a 5-minute drive from me. I literally thought it was destined to be because when I got in his car, in the first 10 minutes of talking to each other, we realized we had so much in common. We both used to live in Japan and used to live in certain parts of the world, spoke the same languages, come from the same culture, and it was crazy. And I was like, this is my person. At the time, I hadn't done anything with the guy. Like, I was super innocent. But we would continue to hang out within the next month or two, and we started to get pretty close. Too close, because then he told me that he was moving all the way to downtown. After he told me that, I did not want him to leave because if he left, I felt like he was gonna forget about me. I was so crazy and I was literally asking the universe for signs. In fact, one day I literally asked the universe to show me a yellow circle if we were meant to be. Tell me why when I was literally working and I was walking to the classroom, I saw a yellow circle on the floor. And he had ghosted me for a week that week, and he literally texted me right after I saw that circle. And I was like, we are meant to be. However, I still thought that he was going to leave me if he were to move downtown. So the day before he literally moves, he tells you to come over at 4 in the morning. I come from super strict parents, so I had to tell him that I was at work. I went over there and tell me why. We're just laying on the bed. He quite literally looks at me and he says, you and I are bonded for life now. I was not ready for what was going to happen next. He moves downtown and he ghosted me for the next month or two. I was so devastated. And after that, I see that my TikTok page has gotten deleted. I fully convinced myself that I did a sin and that's why my page got deleted. After doing a confession, my page finally came back and tell me why the man reached back out to me. After we rekindled and talked about what was happening between us two, he told me that he had to break things off with me because I didn't talk about our relationship on this platform. He said that after he said that you and I are bonded for life now comment, that he would get recognition on this platform and I would make a story time about him. And when I didn't do that, this guy literally went and spammed my page to where it would get deleted. But that wasn't the end of our story. Unfortunately, we kept seeing each other.
Yesterday, my boyfriend and my best friend hung out without me, but let me just explain why I was fine with it. So they've actually been best friends way before me and him started dating. And when we started dating, he actually introduced me to her, and then the two of us became best friends too. The three of us hang out all the time. Yesterday, we were all supposed to hang out, but my boyfriend called me and just kind of explained to me that my best friend was feeling like, ever since my boyfriend and I started dating, it's been a really long time since the two of them have gotten to get together. And I guess she's just been really missing getting to do that, but didn't want to tell me, which I actually felt really bad because I didn't realize I was preventing her from having that time with him that they used to have literally all the time before we started dating. And obviously I'm not a possessive girlfriend like that, so I said yes. And also their friendship has been strictly platonic through all the years they've been friends, except there was one time in freshman year of high school where I guess they tried to date for 2 days. So I don't count that. And that is literally the only reason they do the whole kiss thing sometimes, which I know sounds wild, but you know how us girls will kiss each other sometimes? It's totally platonic, friendship way, it's a friendship peck. That's kind of how my boyfriend explained it to me, so it's not anything weird. They do it right in front of me, so that way I'm comfortable. And yesterday when they hung out, even to just go the extra mile to make me feel comfortable, they kept it in a public place the whole entire time. They said they were just gonna be at a restaurant. We were together for 6 hours and they did have their locations turned off for a little bit, but I know it's just because it's been a really long time since they've gotten to hang out one-on-one. It is the most refreshing feeling when you have a boyfriend and a best friend you know you can trust. Also guys, what's the date today?